An exhibit at the Toronto Reference Library on now looks at the evolution of the city's hip-hop scene. The exhibit is a collaboration with Northside Hip Hop Archives. Talia Ritchie tells us what it is all about.
For the record, what we're seeing all throughout here is an attempt really to look at the origins of hip-hop culture in Toronto by spending time with some of the original sound systems, some of the original DJs. We track some of the early records, some of the early vinyls, which you'll see in some of these cases, and we track the progress of Toronto as a hip-hop scene and its growth.
And I think this is probably a pretty big name for most people.
Everybody knows Maestro Fresh West, and this album actually is, nah, this kid can't be from Canada.
This jam is amplified, so just glide. And let your backbone slide.
Well, the first thing you'll see when you come to For the Record is we have this huge map that is from 1965 Toronto, and it's been bombed, so graffiti's been put on it by one of the city's most illustrious graffiti artists, Elixir. And what we ask people to do is literally map for us places where you heard these sound systems play and where these DJs played. We have these listening stations, and these are college radio shows. And these radio shows were the main outlet for music in the 90s.
Do you think people would be surprised to learn how this music was accessed in the 80s and 90s compared to how people consume music today?
I think people would definitely be surprised on how you would experience hip-hop because it wasn't on the radio and because it wasn't on television. You had to go to an event, you had to go to a party. So the DJs and the sound systems were your main access point to experiencing this new thing called hip-hop.
The sound system started setting the trend in the downtown clubs. From the Twilight Zone, what was known for such a nice sound system, people from all walk of life will come to Toronto and play. The government, all of these places are now cultivating in the sound of the sound system from the 80s and the 90s.
Why are you excited to share this exhibit with people?
It's really about this present moment and how a city like Toronto could cultivate the Drakes, how a city of Toronto could cultivate the Boy Wonders, how we could cultivate these superstars on a stage globally where they're successful because we've had this community that has nourished these talents.